Welcome, dear parents and my dear children. So, here we are back at Cambridge International School, Daswa, and today is all about Poshan Ma, September 2021, or you could also call it as Nutrition Month 2021. This is a very important initiative taken by the government because they want us to be more aware about the needs of our diet, the needs of children as they grow up, and to keep healthy and fit. It has been a long while since we went through the pandemic situation. And there were times when we were sitting at home, children were at home, there wasn't any physical activity happening, and there was a lot of stress also, not just on parents and adults, but also children. So Poshan Ma is a great initiative to understand how we can balance things out, how we can bring things to be more normal for the children, so that they can come back to their regular routines. They can gain back their health, which is a very important part. And especially the pandemic taught us that staying fit and healthy is the key ingredient. It is very essential to keep ourselves healthy, fit, and fine so that we can take up all challenges that come in our way as we are going about our lifestyle. Children have started arriving back at school and we are welcoming them, but we want to see them a lot more fitter and healthier. So I welcome all the guests on the panel that are here with me today and will be telling us about various ways by which we can keep ourselves fit and fine. Right. So, dearest children and parents, we are here with Ms. Pavanpal Kaur Gill. She's an aviation trainer, a yoga instructor, a motivational speaker, and a personal transformation coach. She's based out of Gurgaon. She's married and has she two daughters also. More than 17 years of work experience, her mission is to bring change in the world through positive attitude and conscious living. We are very happy to have you here today, ma'am. A warm welcome to you. We also have our coordinator, Ms. Harparvesh from Middle Wing over here, and Nidhi Dheen, ma'am, from the kindergarten level. So we'll be hearing a lot from Ms. Pavan.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ritu Arora. Thank you so much for inviting me here. So I'm really glad to interact with you, and whatever knowledge I have, I would like to share it with you.
We are waiting, ma'am, and we have loads and loads of questions, but I'll start with a few. So as we earlier also mentioned that, students are growing up and children are, we have children in our school who are from kindergarten, 2.5-year-olds to grade 12, where they are 15 to 16 years old. So each one of them has their own age appropriate diet needs. And it has to be very balanced also, as you mentioned, and we were having a chat earlier. So we would like to know a lot about balanced diet, but whatever best you can give to us today. Balanced diet for children as per their age.
Sure, ma'am, sure. So first of all, I congratulate you, all of you, okay, and especially Cambridge International School, the SUA, those who are participating in this initiative, which is taken by the government called Poshan Ma. So it is all about balanced diet. So now what is balanced diet? So let me share with you the National Wellness Institute. They have defined 6 dimensions of wellness. The first dimension is physical well-being. Second dimension is emotional well-being. Third is social well-being, intellectual well-being, your career, and your spiritual growth. So if you combine all these 6, then you can live a happy and fulfilling life. Being a transformational coach, I personally believe that if we are aware and we are consciously thinking about all these dimensions, we can actually lead a happy and fulfilling, healthy life. So if you look at these dimensions, so out of all these 2 dimensions, which are emotional well-being and physical well-being. So if these 2 dimensions are not in place, you actually cannot achieve others.
Very true.
Yes. So today we are going to talk about this only because we are celebrating Poshan Ma, so which is all about nutrition. So when students, they are coming to the, especially during this pandemic, when they are coming to the school or or they're sitting at home these days doing online classes, okay, so they are probably every eatable is available to them, okay, and parents are also probably sometimes take a back seat and let children or whatever they want to do. So today we will talk about how parents can take up control of health of their child, and also if children are watching this video, so they also can take control of their own health. So I think you will agree with me, Ritu ma'am.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. You know, children know how to get their way with parents.
Yes.
Especially.
Yes. So they know that. Okay. So now let me just move on and tell you about what we can do. Okay, as a parent also, and as as an individual, how we should own the responsibility. Okay. So for that we need to know. As per National Institute of Nutrition, India, so food is divided, the balanced diet is divided into three main categories. One is energy-rich food, mainly carbohydrates and fats. Okay. And the second category they have categorized is bodybuilding food. Bodybuilding food are mainly proteins. And third category is protective food. So where you have your vitamins and minerals. So anybody who is, a parent or anybody in the house who's preparing the meal or taking control of health of the family, the person should know that these three things are important and you should include everything in your diet. So I'll give you a few examples. Like I said, energy-rich food. Now, what is energy-rich food? Cereals, grains. Okay, they are energy-rich food, nuts, okay, oil seeds. So these are energy-rich food, and these things are required, especially required for children, those who are, I would say, from 3 to 10 years old. Okay, because they are very active.
True. They keep everybody.
They are very. Yes. So this energy-giving food is required for these children more. Okay, as compared to, I would say, the eldest ones. Okay. And then the bodybuilding food, which are protein, as I said, so pulses, nuts, again, oil seeds, milk, dairy products, poultry, meat, fish. So these are bodybuilding food. So bodybuilding food are mainly required when you are little grown up. Okay, so you can say growing age as well as adults. Okay, so adults should cut down on carbs. Okay, and you include more proteins in your diet. So as you're growing up. And the third category, as I said, protective food, which is protecting us from all diseases and building our immune system, is green leafy vegetables, fruits, eggs. Again, milk is also included in that.
Right.
So these are bodybuilding food, which is required for all age groups for that. And for growing age, when we talk about, yes, ma'am, please.
And will the quantities also matter? Because, when we are in Punjab and you tell the mothers that they need to have protein and they could have paneer, there will be huge amounts of paneer served. So we have to keep a count on the calories also and, the quantities also, if you could tell us a little about that, because then only it becomes balanced.
Sure, ma'am, sure. First of all, how much we should eat. Okay, all human beings. It is for everyone. How much we should eat. So if I'm supposed to eat, let's say, 4 chapatis, okay, I'll just take the maximum. Okay, if I feel that my stomach will be filled with 4 chapatis, then I should be eaten only half stomach full, 1/4 stomach water. So no, water should not be consumed immediately after your meals. Okay, maybe after a gap of some time, so you can consume water. So half filled stomach with food, and 1/4 water, 1/4 empty.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the ratio which we are supposed to follow. Because you give, so you give your some space in your intestine to get your food digested.
Right.
When everything is packed like this in your stomach, let's say, if there's no space for your food to move, so it will not get digested. So that is the ideal way, okay, to eat.
Right.
And also, how much carbohydrates we should have in our diet, how much protein we should have in our diet. Okay. So there's certain ratio. Like if you have 30%, I would say cereal or grains. Okay. Then 25% vegetables, nuts, 20% fruits, 15% dairy products, poultry, and 10% fat, which you call ghee, butter, and all that. Okay. So that should be
This
the
is
ratio.
wonderful, ma'am, because we can design our own diet plan by the ratios that you have given us, and all the parents can do the same, plan out a particular diet for their children as per the ratios that Madam has mentioned today here, so they can understand better. Ma'am,
Yes.
next, I would like to know about, how does exercise play a key role while having a balanced diet? Because children are spending a lot of sedentary time at home and mostly not moving out nowadays, and fixated to their equipment and their laptops and iPads. So how does that help?
See, ma'am, exercise is one of the key important things, okay, along with your healthy diet. If we are not moving around, okay, or we are not doing any physical activity, so that food will not get converted into energy. It will only convert into fat. Okay, so then the problems like obesity will come into the picture. So the exercise for students especially, okay, so these days if they are indoors, I think now kids are started going to the school. Some schools are open, some schools are still closed. So kids can play in the house, okay, especially in Punjab people have big houses, so children can at least play there, okay. Mm-hmm. So physical activity is very important. So when you're eating something, okay, so after that at least you take few steps walking, maybe in the house itself, okay, so you do not go off to sleep after eating your dinner. Right. And also, yeah, so having a playtime for kids, okay, so that is also very important. I would say it is important for adults also,
as in physical playtime and not playtime on the video games, right?
Of course. Okay, so physical activity where they are moving around, okay.
Yes, right.
So that is important. So obviously not video games, not sitting in the front of computer and play. So that is not called playtime.
Yes.
Yes. And exercise is very important, because until unless you exercise or you do any physical activity, so your food will not get converted into energy. So it will stay as it is in your body as fat.
Right.
So that is one thing.
Right.
And one important thing I would like to include, that is water intake.
Okay. Yes.
Water intake is equally important.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. You were saying something, yeah.
Yes, I was coming to, you were mentioning about exercise and about water intake also. We should be very careful, because otherwise, even in winters here, especially in North India, we don't take enough water. And then there is something called as dehydration, which can occur in winter also, and we don't realize.
Yes.
So that was a wonderful tip, ma'am. And another was, in Punjab, if a child comes back and says, "Mummy, bhook lagi hai," there will be huge amounts of pakoras which come out. And, they'll say sandwiches and healthy vegetable sandwiches, but it will have cheese and butter and all those things. So if you could give us small suggestions about any healthy snacks that we can keep ready for the children at home when they're back from doing their physical activity.
Sure, ma'am. So I will see, as I've already earlier told you, that only 10% of your diet should be fat, which is oil, butter. Okay, so 10% is very, very less. So if we are eating fried food, like all 3 meals, we are eating like fried food. Okay, and in between we are snacking, that is also pakoras.
True.
So definitely your fat intake will be more. Okay. So as we all know that fat intake, whatever fat intake we take in, so it is just storing in your body. It is not going anywhere. It is required, but it is required in very less quantity. So I would say that whenever you're snacking, so snack on things which are not fried. So few examples I can give you. Cut fruits. Okay, so cut fruits means fresh fruit. You cut it and you eat it. And boiled. I don't know kids can have boiled vegetables or not, but if you can make it interesting, okay, so they can eat that as well. Then we have poha, idlis. Then we have what else? Fruit juice.
Right.
So these are few tips. They should snack on these things.
Right.
Sprouts is also another very good example of
yes.
snacking.
Yes.
Healthy snack. Okay.
So when we have this hunger pangs coming up, we have some ideas now and we must try it because it's very essential that we give a healthy diet to the children, right?
Yes.
It will help them to fight diseases as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, another thing is that as I keep on saying, being in Punjab, you see huge amounts of, food. We are always talking about food, okay? Especially you are having breakfast and what are you talking over the breakfast table? You're talking about what to have for lunch. And similarly,
Yeah.
lunch discussion means, preparation
Dinner.
for dinner. So this is how it goes. And if somebody comes and tells in that it's very good to have dry fruits and we'll have a whole bowl of dry fruits with all the mixes in it given to the child to snack on, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere we make mistakes in those combinations. So if you could suggest some good combinations to us and what food should be taken within, what proportion and with what other food, right?
Okay. So, ma'am, if I talk about dry fruits, okay, so obviously dry fruit should not be eaten like any other meal. Okay, so dry fruit, we all know it's in a dried form, which is, I would say, uh, should be eaten in very less quantity. Okay, so for adult, we say a fistful. Fistful dry fruits is sufficient for an adult. Okay,
Right.
so you can proportionately give it to kids. So sometimes, especially mothers or grandparents, so they just want to show their love, so they give probably more to kids. So
Yes.
that should not be done. So it should be proportionately, kids should be allowed to eat proportionately. So you give them, and not to combine two proteins together.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So you can divide. So you can divide in weekly manner: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you have all the days. Okay. So give them different dry fruit every day, so that you can
Right.
do.
Ma'am, can you also suggest to us that what proportions of meals should be there throughout the day, and how they should be divided? I'm just out of curiosity, this question also came.
No, ma'am, the thing is, like, when we, especially like all, doctors and all, I would say, health institutes, they talk about that we should have meals, small meals every 2 hours.
Right.
So not to have big meals. So that is the ideal way to actually follow the diet. Okay. So every 2 hours, because kids will definitely demand something after 2 hours. Okay. So give them small portions and you give them after 2 hours. So 2 hours gap is ideal for that.
And generally they say not to have a heavy meal before sleeping. So what should be the time lapse there before they go to sleep?
There is very interesting fact. I think it would be very beneficial for adults also. You must have heard of intermittent diet.
Yes.
So that concept is basically is that you should not eat anything between, there should be a gap of 14 to 16 hours. So how this particular concept is, if you actually look at ancient India, so we had a concept of fasting. We still have a concept of fasting, but unfortunately it is all, it is not taken in a true sense. Okay. So fasting is basically to keep your body fit. So if you look at our, ancient India, so people used to eat early in the night, okay, around probably 7:30. Okay. And then obviously the entire night you are not going to eat anything. And next day early morning, you will first you do your puja, do your, freshen up, and then you have your meals. So that time, if you look at it, so people used to have 14 to 16 hours of gap between meals. Okay, so that should be the ideal. So I would suggest that even parents should also follow this. Everyone should follow that. You have early dinner, then you don't eat anything, and then you have your breakfast. Because now these days kids, they have to go to school or you have to go to office. So I cannot say that you should not eat anything till 10 o'clock. Okay?
Yes.
So you have to have your breakfast, but you try to keep that gap. You can have early dinner.
Right. So these were a couple of questions, and thank you for helping us out there. I'm sure there's a lot of knowledge over there which the children can take back, the parents can take back and utilize it for a better and healthy life. And ma'am, we'd like to see more of you sometime, right? Whenever we can connect. It was wonderful today. Right? Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.